Guys, good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It's coming up on 6:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Uh, I came across a very troubling idea, thought, imminent situation that could affect us here in the United States. With the continuing spread of COVID-19, the situation where we have over 43,000 people being held in immigration centers mostly throughout the Southwest and the rest of the country, and then the immigration detention centers holding up to and over 43,000 people right now, including 4,000 children, and then the various prison systems throughout the country. The reason I bring up the detention centers first is because we've all heard about the lack of basic hygiene necessities in these detention centers. Soap, hand sanitizer, combs, everything. Health officials are saying, without soap, especially without basic soap and access to running water on a regular basis, it's a cauldron for the spread of infectious disease like this one. Then as I looked more into it, the children in one of the detention centers were actually refused flu vaccines. 3 of them died last year from just the regular flu, and it was proposed to give them all flu vaccines, but that was shut down, presumably by the Trump administration, to not even vaccinate them with the regular flu shot after 3 of them had already died. This is a scary prospect. Looking over the United States now has way more cases, as far as I could see, than Mexico even. I'm sure there's going to be the people that say, "Oh, we got to build up the border right now. That's clear evidence that we got to keep these people out." As of right now, it shouldn't be working the other way around. I would think right now Mexico should be concerned about us spreading the disease to them with the current numbers as they are. And then there's the other point that a wall is not going to stop a virus. I've heard numerous times over the last couple of days that viruses do not obey border lines. I mean, we could talk about airplane travel and enclosed spaces, but when it comes to a virus, the virus has there's no borders mean nothing. So I started thinking, when this finally occurs to the Trump administration, probably much too late, probably after there's a huge spread of the virus, all it's going to take is one single person in there. It's probably already happened because of the severe lack of testing kits. In one of these detention centers, and especially with the children, the way the children tend to interact, I would imagine, especially in a detention center, I would imagine they're probably huddled or playing together closely most of the time, and all it would take is one case, and that case could even be coming from an officer working there. There's no one to say that it's coming from because I'm sure there's going to be as soon as anything like this gets out, there's going to be the accusation that it's all going to. I could see Trump already spinning this that we've got to build the walls even higher now and keep out the virus, and more than likely try to divert attention where it's not necessarily needed and taking away from where it is needed and the real serious problems, like prisons. I've never been to prison. I've never been in a detention center. I would imagine prisons have more of access to soap and water and hand sanitizer and such. Or probably I would imagine, are probably more sanitary somewhat than the detention centers. I don't know. But from everything I've seen about these detention centers, they're not even, you can't even get soap. So when one infected person, which could have easily already have happened, hits one of these detention centers, there's 43,000 people in these centers. So I'm thinking, what's going to be, with this administration and the way Donald Trump thinks, what will be his quick answer to this? Seeing as you can't bomb and kill all of the people in detention, which I would have no doubt that would be his first thing that goes through his mind, but he can't do that, at least not yet. I imagine probably his first go-to thing would be to get him the hell out of the country. I'm willing to bet that he would blame it on Mexico, on the Mexican people as being unhealthy, disease spreaders, and then all of a sudden he's going to get rid of them all and just bus them all to Mexico. So then what would happen if that scenario was the case, where you get thousands of people being repatriated into Mexico? They would then spread the disease all along the border, I'd imagine, in Mexico. And sooner or later, those people would again try to enter the United States legally or otherwise. So I'm no expert here, but I would think that if you got just a couple cases in these detention centers, it would be like throwing a match on gasoline. It would spread in those detention centers. And then what would this administration then do with this center? You know, it would cost. What's the cost going to be of caring for children infected with this disease? Thousands of children, or tens of thousands of immigrants coming down with this. You know damn well Trump's going to want to get rid of this, and that's going to be his way of dealing with it. I'm guessing here. I'm spitballing, but and then so if they were to be repatriated with Mexico, sent out. They would then, I imagine, they would then spread the disease in Mexico, and it would then bounce back into here. Again, it's karma. It's karma. Just coming back on us when we don't treating these people, the immigrants. I don't mean to call them these people, but treating people like this, in these detention centers with no soap, no basic human necessities. It's going to bite us in the ass, and. So that's what it's. I'm guessing it's that match has probably already been lit, and if it's not, it'll be lit very soon. If I were Trump or in the administration, I would. This situation would seriously worry me right now, because again, it's not going to be a problem of just Mexicans or immigrants. The the virus would quickly spread to the people working at the facilities, and then to their homes. And then to their elderly relatives, and so on and so forth. Again, not to be a fearmonger, but this particular situation is one of our own making that is going to bite us in. I think it's going to bite us in the ass, or bite Trump in the ass hard. But something to think about. All right, you guys have a good Wednesday. Stay healthy.